everybody, welcome in. It's Watch Me Wednesday, episode number 85. Today's going to be really fun. I know a lot of you saw my posts yesterday and today. Hey, there's Lisa. Hey, Lisa. Hi. You got to stay on because I got a special guest later, Lisa. And hi, Kyra. Hi, Allison. How are you? So this week, well, last week, I should say, Lisa was here visiting with me, and Lisa and I got back to our inner 12-year-old, and we did a little decoupage. So, of course, I decided to take it just a little bit further, and I wanted to do a little tutorial for y'all today because it was a lot of fun, and I posted a picture yesterday and this morning of this plate that I did with fabric scraps, K-facet fabric scraps that I did, and it's a glass plate, so it's see-through, and you decoupage the fabric to the back, and of course you're doing the right side of the fabric so you can see it through the plate. And yes, they're totally usable. So I'm going to show you how to do that today. I'll put links above me when I'm done. I bought the plates on Amazon. It was a set of 12 glass salad plates for, hey Laura, hey Sue, 12 glass salad plates for $17 on Amazon. There's Nedra, hey Nedra. So it was really kind of fun. I had fun doing the blue plate yesterday. I did a red plate today, and I'm going to show you a green plate. They're going to go with all my Fiesta wear, which is solid colors, so they look really good against it. So there's the blue against that. So they look really good, and yes, they're totally usable. So you can use them as a salad plate, or you could just use it as a lunch plate too, which is great. So hit the share button so that anybody who wants to see and get their inner 12 and 13-year-old on, they can. So hit that share button. So I'm going to show you how to do this, and I'm going to show you all the things that you're going to need to do the decoupage, okay? So, and by the way, anybody out there, do you remember doing decoupage when you were little? Raise your hands or send me a little love so I know that you know what I'm talking about. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's really super fun, and this is a great way to use up those fabric scraps because I know you all have fabric scraps, right? All right, yep, there, I'm seeing the love. Okay, so a lot of you know what I'm talking about. Awesome. So first thing, I'm gonna hold up a few things, and then I'm gonna turn the camera down so you can see what I'm doing. First you have to get Mod Podge, okay? So Mod Podge comes, nowadays, it actually comes in so many different forms. What Lisa and I got last week, and I'm going to show you up close, and I'm sorry it's backwards because the feature on Facebook still isn't working again, the mirror image feature, so I'm showing you, what I'm showing you is coming up backwards for you guys, so I apologize, but it's Mod Podge Dishwasher Safe. So yes, these can go in the dishwasher, but on your top rack. Now, the one thing that you need to know when you get this is that even though it's dishwasher safe, right now I can't put this plate into the dishwasher yet. They have to cure for 28 days. That way everything's all nice and set and it's ready to go. But later on in the video, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about getting it wet because my special guest got it wet, and I'll show you what happened. So anyway, but your best results, I think, are going to come when you let it set and cure for 28 days. Now, I know that you can cure the Mod Podge. Like, I could take this glass plate and I can put it in an oven at 175 degrees for, I think it's like 1 hour or 2 hours, and that really gets the glue hard. You have to reapply it several times just to get a nice finish on it. And I still have another coat I want to put on the blue. Anyway, I'm gonna show you a couple other things before I turn the camera down. So I we applied using this little brush, and it is from Podge, this little brush, and it's a nice fine bristle. And it's nice and wide too, so you get a nice stroke with it. But I was a little bit, when I did the plate, I thought, and actually you can't see it today, and I think it was more my eyes, I saw like brush strokes when I first put it on, and when it really dried, I didn't see the brush strokes. So I thought by getting the Mod Podge sponge brushes, which I know that you've all seen. This is particular to Mod Podge. They are the same price. You get a package of 4 for like $3. So I thought I'd give this a try today, which I did on another plate. The only thing I did not like about the sponge brush was that it seemed to put more glue on than I needed. So that I thought was a little bit of a hurdle for me. So I think I kind of like the result I got with the brush better. But I also bought these brushes from Mod Podge, and I'm going to show you with this one. I like the wide bristle, so it's really similar to this one, but it's short. The bristles are shorter, so I think I'm going to have a little more control because it's a brush, so I have a little more handle than I do with this. I will tell you that with this, your fingers are going to get really sticky and gluey pretty fast because your fingers are a lot closer to the glue. And if you just had a fresh manicure, which I'm telling you today, I had a fresh manicure last night, and today my fingers got all gluey, and the Mod Podge is like, it's dries clear, but it's all over my nail polish. So, so just be careful. And it does come off, like what I did right away after I put the Mod Podge on the plates is I did wash everything up really, really good. Hey, Lisa. Hi, Linda. So you wash everything up right after you're done. So you need the Mod Podge, you need the brushes. You can get, I have a little bowl that I had dumped the Mod Podge in for this brush because you can't stick this brush inside the Mod Podge. They come in bigger containers too. But this one, I can stick in there. So I'm not gonna dump any in the dish today because I can stick it right in there. You also need, of course, your fabric scraps. So I'm gonna work with today, while I'm showing you the tutorial, green fabric scraps. They're all caked. Now I did a blue plate, I did a red plate, I'm gonna do a green plate. So you're gonna need a scissors, because if you want to fussy cut anything, and your rotary cutter to cut. But guess what? I'm forgetting to tell y'all too, before I do this down. So we've got our choice for the Quilt Along. And I need to tell you now before I forget, because I will tell you, I will forget. So you guys had a choice between Fractal and Pansy Garden. Guess what you guys chose? Pansy Garden. So I'll put the link above me when I'm done, and I'll say it at the end again. But this is the quilt we're going to be doing on the Quilt Along. So get your engines ready. Kyra's asking, can you do double layers, say to put a quilt block hourglass in the back? Oh, so I think, I'm not quite sure what you're saying there, Kyra, but I'm thinking you're saying if you're like overlapping fabrics is what I'm thinking you're saying. Yes, I overlap fabrics, and I'm going to show you now. So I'm going to turn the camera down, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do, okay? So bear with me, people. So now you can kind of see my setup here, okay? Oops, sorry, the leg on my tripod is giving out. All right, there we go. So this is my little setup that I have here. And I did pre-cut my fabric. So I've got my glass plate ready to go. It's nice and clean. And you want the back nice and clean. I did cut out, I pre-cut my fabrics out, and this is I kind of laid it on here. This is kind of what I want it to look like. I fussy cut a flower for the center of the plate, and then I had some scraps. I kind of rough cut the edges around. So what I did to kind of get the shape of the plate is I laid the plate down like this on the fabric, and I took my rotary cutter and just trimmed around that edge. So I got that nice soft edge. So hopefully that works well. So I'm learning as I go along. This is the third plate. I also found that because you have to turn the plate over to do the decoupage. I also found that if I had the plate flat on the surface, it was harder to work on because your edges are really close to the flat surface. So I asked my friend and neighbor Rick if he had scrap pieces of wood, because he always has scrap pieces of wood, and for some wood. And I found that if you have the same size pieces of wood, it elevates it just a little bit. And you don't have to do pieces this big if you don't want. You can do them smaller, but you put your dish upside down on the piece of wood, and it really helped a lot to get the brush around, especially around the edges, so you're not hitting like your table or anything. And I have a piece of paper underneath. Partly I have the piece of paper underneath to catch any of the Mod Podge dripping, but also so you can see, because the white, you got more contrast, so you can kind of see on the fabric. So I'm going to pull this a little bit this way, and we're going to get started. So I'm going to start from the center and go out. The other thing that you need to do with the Mod Podge, you do not shake it. Don't shake it because it'll get air bubbles in it. You want to roll it just to mix it a little bit. You roll it on the table. Don't shake it, because that puts air bubbles, and the air bubbles that you'll get will show up when you're brushing it on. So you want it to be nice and smooth, okay? So I'm not, just so you know, you got to stick with me here today, because I'm not only showing you how to decoupage a plate, but I'm also going to show you how to decoupage something else really special. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you want to take your brush, whichever brush you choose to do. If you choose to do the brush that I'm using here, a smaller brush, a wider brush, or the sponge, you want to take your brush and you want to get some Mod Podge on it. So the first thing you want to do is you want to put your Mod Podge where you're going to lay your first piece of fabric. And I tried what I've been trying and learning along the way, because it's been years since I done it. I just put it there, and then I'm going to put my fabric right side down, right in the center, because I'm going to press it with my finger. I want it to be nice down, nicely centered in there. So it's there. You want to try and get any bubbles out that you might have. And there may still be bubbles when you're done, but the nice thing is now I'm going to take the Mod Podge again, and I'm going to coat the back of that. We want the Mod Podge on the back of that, because that will help seal it in there, and that will help seal it from the dishwasher too when you go put it in the dishwasher. Again, this is the Dishwasher Safe Mod Podge. So, but remember, you have to let it cure for 28 days before you can put it in the dishwasher. So now that I've got that one on, I'm going to start layering my next layers. And I showed you that I had it laid out, so I kind of have an idea of how I want to put it. So I want to put this one next. I think I'm going to put it right there. So I need to put, again, the glue or the Mod Podge on my edge. I'm just going to brush it on. And see how it's, at the edge there? So it helps me with the pieces of wood there. And I mean, if you don't have wood, if you have little pieces of foam or something that will elevate your dish a little bit, I think it just makes it a little easier for you. So I got it there, and I'm going to go ahead and lay my fabric kind of right there on the edge. And yeah, your fingers are going to get glue on them. And the only way to really get it off is when you're done, wash them, and then it kind of peels off. It's kind of like, I don't know, it just peels off. It's an odd feeling, but it does come off. Trust me, it does. And then you're going to put more Mod Podge on the back of this fabric to seal it down in there. Okay. And you want to get a good coat, Because what you're going to do, once you have all your fabrics on, you're going to let this dry for about an hour or two, and then you're going to come back and do it again. Now, I want to put this flower on, and I want to put it right here. This is good. The flower is going to be backed by another fabric, so I'm going to put, oops, and I've got some stray threads that I don't want in my, to be seen, so I'm putting them back there. So I'm going to position this flower, let's see, right, let's put it like, how about like that? Let's see, like that. So you'll see a partial flower from the front. And it's always kind of a neat surprise because when I did the red this morning, and I'll show you the red and how I set that one up when I'm done here so you can see the red dish. And the red dish, oh, and I put it over top of a blue plate and a kind of a goldish, whitish placemat. Okay, so now I've got that flower there, and I'm going to turn it so you can kind of see. And I'm going to put this leaf, I think I'm going to put it right there. So I need to put more of the Mod Podge in. And I got another piece of thread there that I don't want. Imagine that, thread in a quilter's room, huh? Okay, so. All right, so I'm going to put this right about like that, I think. I think that'll look nice. And any, you know, if there's any, you know, spots that are left open afterwards, you can always go back and put just a little piece of fabric in just to cover it up. That's not really a big deal. I had to do that this morning. I tried a little bit of a different technique with the red, and you'll see what I mean. I use smaller pieces of fabric, and I actually think, to be honest with you, I like on this particular, you know, doing on the plates, I think I like doing larger pieces of fabric, because I did larger pieces of fabric on the blue one. And so I kind of went back to that. You'll see on my, on the red one, how I use smaller pieces. And I think I'm going to put this piece here. I really like this fabric. And I think I'm going to put this one right here. So I'll put a little more glue there. And you see how I'm just kind of trying to get that glue on there nice and evenly. And then this piece here, I'm going to turn it, let me turn it around so you can see. This piece, oops, I didn't have any glue under there. So this piece, whoops, spread that in there. Yep, I got a little too much. So if that's okay, if you got a little too much glue, you just spread it out and then spread it on top. Not a problem, okay? Now, this piece here, I'm gonna put here, like so. And when I'm done with this, I'll hold this up for you all to see. And if you have like any edges that kind of go, like edges of the fabrics that go up over the edge of the plate, that's okay. You can trim that down later on. I found you can either do it with your scissors, or if you have like an X-Acto knife, not a problem. So it's pretty easy to trim those down, especially when it's hard with the glue. It's actually easier to do that. So don't worry about if you have like these edges that kind of hang over. Not a big deal. Okay, so now there's that piece. Let me turn it just a little bit so you can kind of see the progression here. And I just keep smoothing out that glue. Now I have this other piece that I want to go here. So I'm going to add more glue. Mod Podge, I should say. Right, so I'm going to put it where I want to put that piece of fabric. You get the picture, right? It's a lot of fun. I want to tell you what. You know, a lot of the times I have scraps, and they're small little scraps, and I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with them. What a neat way, though, what a great gift, by the way, too. This would make a great gift to give for birthdays or even wedding gift. Why not? Wedding, Christmas. You know, and somebody had remarked that it would make, if you used, you know, used for a charger plate, you know, big charger plate that you actually really are not using for food, sure, that would be fantastic, right? But you can use these for food because the other side is just the glass. There's no, you know, fabric on the other side. And these are dishwasher safe because they are this special Mod Podge that they have for dishwasher safe. So I'm going to put this piece here. And you can kind of see how I'm layering these up. You just have to make sure you're putting the glue on there real well. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm almost done here. So you're going to get to see this in a second. And I do see, you know, one piece of fabric that I'll have to trim down when it gets a little hard, which is not a big deal. Easy peasy. And it's kind of something fun to do, something kind of, you know, different from the same old that you do every day. If you're, you know, you just want to break from the sewing machine, you want to get up and do something different, this is perfect. All right, so I'm gonna put this here. I am actually gonna be doing a candy dish too. So Lisa says, oh, we've got to do a candy dish in our booth in the fall for your fabric line. So we're gonna do a candy dish out of my fabric line that will be in my booth. So if you are at International Quilt Market, you'll have to come by my booth and see the candy dish. And you know what? I like this fabric a lot, so I'm just gonna peel this back a little bit because I wanna see more of this one fabric that I'm gonna put on. This one, I really love that fabric. So I wanna see a little more of it. And I'm gonna, well, let me see if I need to cut it down. Actually, I am gonna cut it down a little bit because I don't need that big of a piece, so I'm gonna trim it down just a little bit so there's not as many layers. And then I'm gonna lay it there. Okay, so I'm gonna lay it right on there. That covers my final area. And then, I'll turn it over and I will show you what this looks like. I'm anxious to see too, aren't you? So now what'll happen is, this I will let sit like this for about an hour or two, and then I'll come back and I'll put another layer of glue. So let's see what it looks like. How's it look? Ooh, I like it. I like it. What do you think? What do you think? That's kind of cool, the green, right? So see how I fussy cut that flower in the center? So, you know, I'll come back and trim this little area, and if I see later on that there's maybe 1 or 2 spots that might need, and I don't actually see any right now, but 1 or 2 spots that might need a little more coverage, I can fill it in with fabric. So I'm gonna leave it there to dry, and the brush I will wash out in a little bit. But I wanna show you, I'm gonna pull the camera up, and I wanna show you the 2 plates that I did. Actually, I'm not gonna pull the camera up because you need to see the plates. So here is how I did. This is the picture that I posted yesterday and today. So this is the salad plate inside the Fiesta ware with a red, so it's kind of a red, white, and blue theme here. So I kind of tried to stick with that with the other plate. So I did this red plate this morning. So let me show you the red plate. Whoops, oops, I'm sorry, I just dumped you all. Up. Are you still there? Is everybody still there? Hang on a second. There we go. You still there? Sorry. I bumped the tripod there. Sorry about that, everyone. Okay, so here's the other one. So here is the red plate. So there's the red plate. I actually bumped the camera down a little too much. So here's the red plate on a blue plate with kind of like a gold background. So I got a red, white, and blue theme going on here. But I love the red plate. Now I did do a little bit different on the red plate. I did fussy cut more flowers and used background a little different than the blue plate I used larger pieces of fabric on the blue plate than I did on the red plate. So it looks just a little bit different. And the red plate is the one that I used the sponge applicator on, which I said, I think it put too much glue on at a time. I think the brush gave you just enough. I don't think you need like to be really heavy-handed with the glue, or the Mod Podge, I should say. It is a glue, but I don't think you need to be extremely heavy-handed with the Mod Podge. So the sponge applicator is, I think it has its purpose, and it's really nice for when you're doing like the second and third coat. But I think the brush is sufficient. But that's my opinion. Try out which ones you like best. But aren't they pretty? I mean, how pretty is that? Like on, when you set your table, what that would look like, right? So those are the two I have done. So now I have 3 done. I have 9 more to go. And so I'm going to make 2 more blues, 2 more greens, 2 more reds, and then I think I'm doing yellow. I think I'm doing yellow also. So I have to break out my yellow scraps too. But you can see, I don't know if you can see, but I fussy cut these little flowers and then just use like a background. Here's the back of this one. So I should show you the backs. This one needs I've done more coats on the blue, so you can see it has a little more of a sheen to it, because this one I just did this morning, so this one needs several more coats to catch up to this one. And then remember, because it's the Dishwasher Safe Mod Podge, you have to let it cure for 28 days before you put it in the dishwasher. So let me turn the camera back up so you can see see what I'm doing? I'm getting it on my manicure, right? So I'm gonna wipe it off before it actually dries on there, because my nail tech, my lovely nail tech, who is fabulous, Stephanie, she's gonna say, what are you doing to what I just did? So anyway, let me turn this up so you can see my ugly mug again. So, oops, there we go. Okay, hi everybody, I'm back. So, how many coats? So Sue's asking, how many coats do you put on to finish these? Well, they recommend, hang on, that's the French. Here's the English. They say add 2 to 3 top coats. And I think on the blue, I think I've got 3. I might add 1 more. They also have special spray that you can use to spray coat it for a finish, but you got to use it outside. And I don't think I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna use this and see how it goes. Cure it for 28 days. I guess it's blue, not purple. Looks so pretty, thanks. So, do you wanna see another idea for the decoupage? Well, I bet you're never gonna guess what it is, unless you saw my post the other day. I don't know if I posted it on my business page, but I posted it on my personal page and actually on my Instagram. So if you're on my Instagram and my personal page, then you've seen it. But I got a special guest here today. My neighbor, Stella. Come on over, Stella. So Stella, this is Stella. Hi, say hi to everybody, Stella.
Hey, hi.
So Stella had the unfortunate, an unfortunate little accident. But accidents ended up being kind of happy. Lisa's saying hi.
Hey, Lisa, how you doing?
So Lisa and I have to say, Lisa was like, so excited, not that Stella hurt herself, but so excited that we could decoupage her cast. So take a look at Stella's cast. So I don't know if we can get it in closer. Let's see. So can you all see her cast, what we did to it? Isn't that beautiful? So she had a pretty blue cast with glitter, and her doctor said that this cast that she has, she can get it wet. So we got the Dishwasher Safe Mod Podge, and we decoupaged her, and it's hard. And Stella, tell us, you've taken showers and gone in the pool, right?
Yep, several times.
And how's it?
It looks just the same as when they first put it on.
And we actually didn't let this cure either
right.
for 28
That's
days.
Right.
So
yeah, please, I don't want this all for 28 days.
Stella only has to wear this for how long?
A little over 2 more weeks.
2 weeks. So she's only got to wear it for 2 more weeks. But she's got the best darn looking cast around, I have to say. It's so pretty. and she thought she was doing good with blue and
the sparkles and blue. And
she had glitter in there, but we were ready to go. And what I'll do, we did a little time lapse video of Stella and us Mod Podging her cast, so I can post that later, so you can see what we did here. But it's basically the same process. She says that is one gorgeous cast. And Trish says, Stylin' Stella.
Yeah.
There you go.
If you don't want a lot of attention, you don't do this. Everybody comments on it, so.
And it's kind of like, you see the sleeve tattoos, right? Well, it's kind of like that without, she's got some pain because she had to get the cast. So there is some pain that went along with that. But at least we did something super pretty, and it's kind of fun to look at, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So that is Stella's beautiful decoupage cast. So there is lots of applications for using your scrap fabric and decoupaging it. I mean, tell us about what people have been saying when you...
Just that it's a fancy, nice looking, pretty. Just getting all comments all over the place. They've never seen something like this, So
they probably want to know what doctor did it, right?
Yeah, that was one person, like, where'd you get that? The doctor has a new kind of cast. I said, no. And I went through the whole story of how
two crazy friends just decided to...
As soon as they heard I had a cast, they jumped on it.
We were straight to Michael's, and we got the decoupage, we got the brush, and we were like pulling out the scraps, sorting them into colors, and then we set it up kind of like... She was at the hairstylist. We put her in a chair right here and had the scraps in front, and she started getting into it after a while. She says, I really like that one, and I like that one, and we just started fussy cutting stuff and slapping it on and filling in the holes. There's no real rhyme or reason to it. You can, you saw the green plate, how I kind of planned that one out, but you don't have to. The red plate... I didn't plan out the red plate. Oh, look at that. Looks kind of neat with the light shining through. The red plate, I didn't plan it out. I just kind of fussy cut some stuff, kind of like we did for the cast. And I think it turned out great. The blue plate, I told you, I used larger cuts of fabric like I did on the back of the red plate. But I used the larger cuts on the green plate that I just showed you. So that was kind of fun. That one I kind of planned out a little more. You saw at the beginning how it was all planned out. So anyway, that's the tutorial on decoupage. If you guys are going to decoupage, you've got to share, because I want to see. And as I do more and more of the dishes and I have the sets done, I'll post them along so that you can see where I'm at. But definitely, they're great gifts. And I think a charger would be... Shirley says, love the tutorial, but really love Stella's cast. Is that the blue plate special? Nice, Nedra. Very good. Yes, that one is the blue plate special. And then that is a blue plate special, too. So, but any ideas if you got, let's see, what did she say? Allison says, gonna use this idea on an ammo can. There you go. I want to give my river guide daughter, she took me on a trip, forced me to use, and I can't see the rest. I'll have to read it later. But that's great. You can decoupage a lot of stuff. And Mod Podge, just so you know, when you go and you look in Michael's, and you can go online, their website, I'll put their website. It's not modpodge.com, it's plaidonline.com. So you can look at all the different types of Mod Podge that they have. They also have glitter Mod Podge. So if you want to bling things out with glitter, you can do it with glitter Mod Podge. It's amazing what they have. So, but if you do decide to Mod Podge anything, show us. Let us see what you do. So before we go again, I'm going to remind everybody, the Quilt Along is going to start in a couple weeks, and we're doing Pansy Garden. That's what you guys all voted on. So make sure, it's Kyra, glitter, right? She had glitter on her cast. We just made it better. But if you're going to start the Quilt Along with us, you want to get your pattern, I'll put the link above me again. You can get the booklet, and I'll ship it to you. A lot of people have already purchased their pattern, and I've shipped, or you have the choice on my website for the PDF download, so you can get it instantaneously. You'll need it first because you're going to need the yardage amounts. and it'll tell you what other supplies you need. So it tells you on the back, but you're going to need that for the Quilt Along. And you'll want to go on to Quiltster too and mock yours up. I'm going to start posting in the group some of the ones that I've mocked up with the with Quiltster in the different colorways, so it looks really kind of cool. So come back. Actually, I will not be here next week. I'm gonna be in Oklahoma. I'm teaching and lecturing in Oklahoma next Wednesday, so I won't see you next Wednesday, but I will see you the following week. So I hope you guys have a great rest of the week. Share the video, the tutorial, so everybody can start decoupaging with their scrap fabric. We're just gonna make the world a whole lot prettier, right? So have a great week. I'll see you in 2 Wednesdays. And until then, happy quilting, everybody. Love you.